What is going on, everybody, and welcome to today's video with me, your friendly neighborhood pirate Wardwix. In today's video, we're going to be killing demonic gorillas for 3 hours. I cannot find anything that tells me how much demonic gorillas should be every hour. No one that I know of can give me an exact answer. Everyone can just say, well, they're pretty good, getting a Xenite shard's pretty good, but no one can give me a good estimate or a good quote, consistently. So we're gonna go do it for 3 hours and see what we get. We are going to be doing this not on Slayer tasks, so you will get more if you do this on Slayer tasks. We're just going to be using the Helm of Netisnot instead of the Slayer Helm, as we're not on Slayer task. So let's get right into this. Okay, so this right here is the gear that I am going to be bringing. We're going to have a Helm of Netisnot, as I am not on a Slayer task, Fire Cape, Amulet of Fury, Ancient Blessing, Arclight. Now I'm bringing the Arclight over something that's two-handed, as it does hit a little bit better here, but if you don't have the Arclight, you can just use, for example, a Sardoman God Sword, or a Bludgeon, or even a Bandos God Sword. The spec on the Bandos God Sword does help out a little, is not bad here, as you can use that to lower its defense, but I'm bringing the Arclight and a Defender. We have Carol's Leather Top, Bandos Tassets, Barrow's Gloves, Primordial Boots, Berserker Ring Eye. In the inventory we have a Blowpipe, Ava's Assembler, and a Archer's Ring Eye. And then for the rest of the inventory, we have 2-dose Super Combat Potion and 2-dose Range Potion. We're bringing 6 Prayer Potions, a Ring of Dueling, Royal Seed Pod, the rest of my inventory, Shark plus 1 empty spot, so that I can change over to the Blowpipe if I need to at the beginning. Now this gear may change. Demonic Gorillas here is something that it has like a skill level to it. I'm not the greatest at it. I am okay at best, but I'm not like super good at it. So like if you're really good at it, you can bring like a lot less. You can bring like 8 prayer potions and just like a bit of food. So I'm gonna change this as I can actually do and just base it off of that. So let's get into this. Okay, so we are gonna be toning back the gear used here a little bit. Instead of bringing 6 prayer potion, we're just going to bring 4 1-dose of super combat and range potion, and the rest of the inventory full of shark, and not taking the empty spot, as we will drop these 2 vials here. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so we just completed the first hour here. Let's see what we got here. So 1.24 mil, that is not bad for an hour of work whatsoever. This, however, is excluding the stuff that we've used, like the supplies we've used, so let's put that in here now. And here we have the supplies used. Also on top of this, we did use 448 Arclight charges on the hour, so let's see how much this comes to. So 280k, so this means we would have made about 960k the last hour, so 960k per hour. This is only on the first hour. We're still doing another 2 hours. This is just over the first hour here, but if we can keep up the 960, that is not bad whatsoever. And just so that you know, we got 44 kills on that hour. Ooh, we're about halfway through the second hour here. We just got ourselves a Xenite shard. Not bad. It is going to like scuff up the numbers. Some just probably not. I'll add it in at the end just to show what it is, but we'll still just we'll pretend like it's not there for the final price check, just so that you can see what the average loot per hour is, and then what it would be with a Xenite shard. Okay, and here we are. We just completed hour 2. This will probably be the best hour that we have, due to the fact that we got the Xenite shard. But obviously we're going to count the Xenite shard, but also not count it at the same time, just to see how much we get per hour, and then also include the Xenite shard. So just everything combined here, this hour we made 10.7 mil, so obviously that's repulsively good. It's in red. So we're just gonna remove the Xenite shard here. So we made 971,000 GP excluding the Xenite shard, so a bit less than last hour, but obviously it is RNG on how many, for example, like rune plate legs, rune plate skirt, rune plate legs, dragon scimitars, rune seeds, stuff like that. So 671k is not bad for an hour. This is profit. Let's count in the supplies used. Okay, and let's see what the supplies we actually used was. We used a same amount of potions as last time, 1 more food, same ring of duelings, a bit less of the mithril darts and the scales, and a couple less charges. We only used a 406 charges this time, so let's see how much we spent. 272k, so it's about 8k cheaper than last hour, but we did make a bit less than last hour, so we only made about 970k last hour, when the first hour we made 1.2 mil. This is of course without the Zenite shard being included, so we would have only profited about 699k, so let's just say 700k for that hour, when the previous hour we profited at 960k. So as you can see, there is a good difference here. But that's obviously with it's kind of the nature of this place. I got 2 brews instead of this time, so I got 4 of those kills. I could have had, for example, gotten some some rune items or something like that when I got 2 dose brews instead. So it all depends on your luck really, but I'm just going to be giving you an average here for the 3 hours. So let's get into the last hour here. And in this hour I got 40 kills. And we just completed the final hour here. We got 41 kills on the hour. Let's see what the total loot for the hour comes to. Doesn't seem like the best loot we've got so far. For example, you only have 1 dragon scimitar, no good seats and whatnot. So let's see. 771k. Like, that's still not bad. That's still not a bad hour. That's still on par with it's still better, for example, than things like gargoyles or wyverns or stuff like that, but we still have to factor in the supplies, so let's do that now. Here is the supplies that we used for the last hour. 290k. That is our most expensive hour supply wise. We did use a extra prayer potion than what we normally, than what we did the last 2 hours. We did use a couple less shark. But our last 2 hours, for the beginning one was 280k, and then the second one was 272k. This one is 290k. This means that we only made about 48k off of this hour, which isn't as good as the first 2 hours, which are without the Zenite shard, 960k and 699k. This is a very RNG heavy thing to do, as it all depends on if, for example, the last hour here I only got 1 dragon scimitar, when I believe the first hour I got 3 or 4 of them, so just there alone I lost like 150k compared to between the 2 hours. But it all depends on your loot, of course, and I did get the Zenite shard, so I did still make a lot of money, but now let's see them all together. Okay, so here is the total loot for the 3 hours. Now, you may notice that I don't have any javelin shafts in my inventory. That's actually because I didn't count them for the first 2 hours, because I didn't actually realize that I had any inside of my bank, but it is fine because they're only about 1 GP each, so at max they would have added on for the 3 hours combined about 5k, so it's basically, it's not even... Just don't worry about this. If you pick them up, it basically had like 5k to every 3 hours type of thing. It's hardly even worth like mentioning, because javelin shavs are only 1 GP each, they're not really like worth anything because javelin, yeah. So either way, we're just gonna get into the price check here. So let us do it now. We are gonna be price checking with the Zenite shard, just do the full thing, and then we'll do afterwards without the Zenite shard. So let's check. So 12.6 mil with the shard, and without the shard, 2.9 mil, which is not that bad for only 3 hours of work. Okay, so let's now see with all of the supplies that we would have used. Just that you know, we used about 1,272 arclight charges, and then this in our inventory. So the total price check for what we supplies we used here is about 540k. So all in all, excluding the Zenite shard, we made 2.42 mil, so that is not that bad for 3 hours. That is just over 800k GP per hour profit. And then for the Zenite shard itself, if we were to take the Zenite shard's current price and divide it by the 1 in 300 drop rate, that means that each kill would theoretically give us 32,397 GP. We got a total of 125 kills done in the hour, which means, like in the 3 hours combined, which means that theoretically of this Zenite shard we made just over 4 mil, about 4 mil and 50k, which means that it should take us about it should take us about 7.3 hours to actually get each Zenite shard. So if you'd like, you can just say that each kill is worth 32,000 GP just off of the Zenite shard alone, saying that you're going from Zenite shard to Zenite shard. Obviously, this is something that you can actually reliably count on. I just thought I'd add this in here just that you know that, yeah, it's saying that you get my rate of about 41 kills every single hour. This is, of course, without the Slayer helm. I was not on Slayer task. You should be getting a Zenite shard every about 7.3 hours, saying that you are on drop rate. But in conclusion, If you factor in the Zenite shards, so the 7.3 hours for getting that, plus all the other loot, this can rival something like Zolra. That is, however, saying that you are getting average luck. If you get bad luck with this, then it's obviously just better to have done something like Zolra instead, like Zolra or Barrows. But this can easily rival them, but it does take a lot more effort than, for example, Barrows. It honestly rivals Zolra in the amount of effort you have to put in. I'd probably just do Zolra instead. But if you get the Slayer task for this, definitely do it. It'll definitely be more profitable than doing just doing Zolra for an hour. And if you're looking for something different than Zolra, because Zolra can get a bit boring after how many kills. This isn't honestly a bad method whatsoever. It's saying that you go from Zenite Shard to Zenite Shard, like you were to just go, you just say, okay, I'm going until the next until I get a Zenite Shard, and just go. It can rival Zolra, but without it, it does still 800k GP per hour is still not bad with it not factoring in the Zenite Shard on my luck over the past 3 hours. And I would just like to thank you all for watching the video. If it did help you, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and thanks for watching the video.